Hello there. I'm recording from this beautiful location in south of England. It's a moment of mixed feeling for me. I've been in this area for about 6.5 years and I'm preparing to change that. So pretty soon you'll see me from northeast of Thailand. Just wanted to share a few things. Obviously I'm a bit conscious about talking to a camera. I can see myself over the past couple of weeks warming up to this. I guess I'm imagining an audience. So let's call this a reflection. Reflection, a little bit about the past, a little bit about the present moment, and what I imagine to be the future. It's a moment of transformation and transition for me and my family, which means both personally and professionally. I'm a psychotherapist. I've been practicing for about 13 years now. And I think based on my especially past 4 years of my experience working as a therapist, I've learned that I practice a unique blend of counseling and psychotherapy. This is what I learned based on my work with people other than from my own culture. And I'm so grateful for that experience. Not just for the money that I earn by working with them, which helped me sustain myself and my family. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But more importantly, the kind of experience I gained about the universality of our pain, suffering, and our capacity to kind of be there regardless of our cultural backgrounds, religious beliefs, political beliefs, gender. I wasn't successful all the time, but for the most part, it was a great testimony for that ability to be present. So I am taking that practice with me wherever I go. I will settle into the northeast of Thailand and will continue to do that. So in a subtle way, I'm also inviting you to join that practice if you can, because post-COVID, as you probably know, everything has gone online and that becomes some sort of a normal. It can be helpful, so I just wanted to extend that invitation as well. So I've taken several initiatives, including this content that I'm going to put out there, to almost like create my online karma, as it were. Because nowadays, that seemed to be the way to share and to meet people, because that's where people seem to be nowadays. And I can see that I'm getting comfortable and even enjoying it to a certain degree, because I know there are real people out there benefiting from work like the work that I do. And based on my work experience here for the past 3-4 years, I also noticed that there are things that I gained through my lived experience, my professional experience, education, research. There are things that people would benefit from my sharing, so I want to take that into consideration. So while reflecting on that, I'm also inviting you to take note of that and be curious about what I'm going to offer and check those things out, and to see if any of those things make sense to you. And if you are someone who is in a transition, or someone starting something new without the clearest picture about what is ahead of you, then I can definitely tell you that you're not alone. So it's an ending that certainly paved the way for a new beginning. That's my direct experience, and I hope that's yours too. Obviously, I have years of experience as a Buddhist monk that I can lean into in moments like this, because I don't have the full clear picture of what's ahead of me. But that uncertainty, that mystery kind of intrigues me, because that's what I learned. That's how I learned to approach life, based on my practice, my understanding. It might not be for everybody. It might not even be the smartest thing to do, but that's how I kind of learn to go about things. So if you are in a moment of transition with a lot of uncertainty in life, you're not certainly alone. But it will be a good time to reflect on your insecurities, your fears, and work with them compassionately. Because it's very normal. So the only difference this time is that I'm in a public way kind of sharing that, because I think that's what I'm good at doing. Because this is what I do for a living. I witness people, uncertainties, vulnerabilities, and how they suffer. Obviously, when I sat here today, I wasn't planning on talking specifically about this, but this is also how I operate the best, the spontaneity. So this sharing, this reflection, going to be a little longer than I expected. I hope you can bear with it. So, as someone who had what I would call a privilege of witnessing how other people experience suffering in their lives as a therapist, and also before as a Buddhist monk, I am in a very unique position to witness these things. And although I'm a therapist, it doesn't mean that I'm immune to that kind of experiences. But I'm perhaps more equipped to work with that kind of experiences, slightly more than a lay person. So I want to kind of normalize and admit and acknowledge my humanity, my humanness, while also perhaps offering some encouragement for you to think about doing this in the same way. I am working on a series of conversations, sort of self-dialogues that I'm going to publish in my platforms in the coming weeks as I get a little bit more time back in Thailand, exploring my take on emotions, mental health conditions, whether diagnosed or not, because I had the privilege of working in the so-called first world and understand how people experience daily suffering in the first world. And I've seen the commonality of those things and learn a lot from working with clients. And that helped me strengthen my practice and my resolve in working with people suffering. Okay, so there's a bit of a background music as people pass by. It's a good time. People are happier in the summer. So I would like you to be curious about those things, maybe even take notes to kind of look forward to those sharings, because in my experience, in hundreds of people that I've spoken to benefited from those conversations. And I thought this would be a good time for me to kind of share those things with the wider community rather than keeping it to myself. And there's a bit of perhaps a voice in me that is, let's say I'm conscious of a voice in me that think about all these online spaces, certain identity that I might gain by doing this, the perfectionism and all of those things. And again, I want to demonstrate how I work with those things, because like any other human beings, I do have those voices, and they're just sitting on the other bench over there while I'm doing this. Yeah, I like to come to the nature and to do this. The other reason is I don't have a great background at home either, including children's voices and disturbances. So whatever I'm about to share in the coming weeks could be psychoeducational for some of you. It could sound spiritual for some. It might even be inspirational. I'll try my best to sort of keep it simple and direct. But it will be less structured. I'm not very good at talking, sort of giving planned speeches. I think that would be boring, and that's not kind of me. But at the same time, I want to value your time that you spend watching or listening to this sharing. So I will try my best to at least deliver 1 or 2 valuable points. But these are beginnings, so I don't know what I would be exactly sharing 10 months from now, but as of now, there are a lot of reflections about change, about transitions, about ending and beginnings, and grief. And as you probably have experienced a lot of grief in your life, this is also a good example for the fact that there are positive feelings among many negative feelings in grief. So grief is part of nature. It's not a pain inflicted by some bad God or karma or anything like that. It is part of the process of change, and change supposed to bring grief. That's why I'm fascinated. Probably that's one of my favorite topics in therapy, working with grief. So yeah, so it's an ending of one chapter and the beginning of another. The only difference probably is that I'm making a public statement about it like this. And because of my profession, I hope that would be a useful piece of information for you, especially if you would like to work with me at some point in your life. So you can also get to feel a little bit about my attitude, my style of working. So stay tuned. Something transformational will come out of this. I know that for me. And also, if you're in a transition, I genuinely wish that for you too. Thank you.